Hey, what's up everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz and you're here for your free picks for Sunday, May 14th. Once again, guys, we have a pretty big slate on Sunday. We have some interesting games in the EPL, including that Arsenal versus Brighton matchup that's happening as well. You can find a pick for that one in a separate video. But all the other games, most significant games we will be talking about in this video here. And if you want my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my page where you can sign up and see what else I have going on. So, without further ado, and as we usually do, guys, we are gonna kick it off with the EPL. And the first game is gonna be between Brentford and West Ham. Brentford is actually at the plus money right now. It's plus 103, not minus 103. And I think that they should be the favorites here because West Ham has been struggling a lot on the road. They haven't won any of their last two games on the road, and they did play in that Conference League semi-final matchup earlier this week, which could make them a little bit tired. And then again, they're playing the second leg of that competition next week. Brentford on the other side has been solid at home. However, they are coming off of a loss to Liverpool 1-0. But like I said, at home so far this season, only two losses, 8 wins and 7 draws. And I definitely think they deserve to be the favorites here, and I'm gonna keep this one simple. I'm taking Brentford on the money line, guys. It's plus 103 right now, like I said, and that's the money well worth taking. So that's what I'm going with here in this game. For our next game, we have Everton hosting Manchester City, and that is the significant game for both sides. Everton is still fighting to stay in the league, and now they are in the 17th place, which is above the relegation zone where they have 32 points. However, Leicester is behind them with 2 points less, Leeds is behind them with 1 point less, and we'll see if Everton has enough in their tank to get the job done and to avoid the relegation this season. As far as Manchester City goes, we know that they played against Real Madrid earlier this week, a game which ended 1-1 on the road in the Champions League semi-finals. They are facing them again on Wednesday. And I would assume that that game is a little bit more important to them than this one in the EPL. But this is a game that they would definitely want to win to keep the positive streak alive, to keep the morale high up in the squad and with the fans and everything like that. Uh, with all due respect to Everton, they haven't done much this season for me to have their trust here, and they are facing Manchester City, the team that hasn't lost any of their last 10 games, the team that hasn't lost any of their last 21 games overall, and the team that has a striker who scored more goals than Everton did this season, and that is Erling Haaland, who has 35 goals so far. So uh, Everton might very well get on the scoreboard, but I don't see them getting a win. I think Manchester City gets another one, and for that reason, I'm going to take Manchester City to win and over 2.5 goals. It's minus 124. It's not the price we often get on Manchester City, and we should take advantage of it. Now we are moving on to LaLiga, guys, and the first game we have is between Celta Vigo and Valencia. Celta Vigo has been doing a decent job this season. They will avoid the relegation for sure, while Valencia is in the relegation zone right now, if I'm not mistaken, and they definitely need points to avoid the relegation, but they haven't been doing that good of a job this season at all, and they will have a lot of problems in the last few games. Valencia is actually in the 17th place, which is not in the relegation zone, but they have the same number of points as Getafe does, just below them. However, Valencia has been a little bit better defensively and offensively. But like I said, they have been struggling with consistency a lot this season, and they have only 2 wins on the road alongside 3 draws and 11 losses. With Celta Vigo's defense, which is also fairly inconsistent, I think that Valencia has a chance potentially to kind of get on the scoreboard and maybe get a positive result. And for that reason, guys, I'm gonna go with both teams to score in this one. It's minus 113. I think that's a great price on two teams with very shaky defenses, but still, I think they can muster enough offense to get us at least a goal on each side. In the next matchup in La Liga, we have Elche hosting Atletico Madrid, and Elche still at the bottom of the table, guys. Still the worst team in the league, and they will be getting relegated. While Atletico Madrid is trying to stay in that second place, and they need a win to do that because Real Madrid got a win in their Saturday game. But there is a huge quality gap between these two sides, and there is a huge gap in the quality of football as well. So Elche has conceded 64 goals this season. They will be getting relegated, and they barely have any offense. Atletico Madrid very solid defensively, conceding way less than a goal per game, scoring almost 2 goals per game on average this season, and they are creating a lot of chances. So instead of choosing the sides or goals in this game, I'm gonna take Atletico Madrid to have over 5.5 shots on target, and that is at minus 130. I don't think that's gonna be a problem at all at hitting, and it should be a fun game for Atletico Madrid. We are moving on to the next matchup, and that is between Valladolid and Sevilla. Now, Valladolid has had a nice positive spell a couple of weeks ago where they were undefeated in like 4 games or so, but now they are again on a 3 game losing streak. And whether they play at home or on the road, they did not look well over the last couple of weeks. Sevilla, on the other side, a very solid team. They have woken up just in time to salvage their season, just in time to do something in the Europa League, and they're coming off of a nice positive result against Juventus, which ended in a 1-1 draw on the road, I might add. And I think that instead of thinking about this game and worrying about LaLiga, Sevilla is more concerned about that game they have next week in the second leg, but they haven't lost any of their last 5 games on the road. Now, Valladolid still has a lot to fight for. They are barely hanging above the relegation zone, and that could change very soon and very fast. And for that reason, I think that Valladolid will try to push for the win here, but I don't think they have what it takes to beat Sevilla, especially in their current form on the road. So I'm gonna go with the draw in this one. Plus 260, guys. With Sevilla thinking about that game next week against Juventus, I think that they might be a little bit sloppy in this one, maybe resting a few players and whatnot, but I definitely think that they're good enough to get at least the draw against Valladolid, and I expect maybe 1-1 result or something like that here in this game. The final game in La Liga is that Barcelona derby between Espanyol and Barcelona, and those are always pretty fun, guys. We usually see a ton of chances, a ton of fouls, and I don't doubt that this one will be the same because Espanyol is fighting to stay in the league. They are now in 19th place, which is in the relegation zone, but they are only 3 points away from safety. Barcelona, sorry, still at the top of the table with 82 points, and theoretically they could still lose that. But just by looking at their schedule until the end of the season, they have Sociedad, Valladolid, Mallorca, and Celta Vigo. After this game, I simply think that the battle for the title here is done, and that Barcelona will get a win. And just by looking at the injury report of both teams, they are fairly healthy, and this is going to be a full battle between two teams from the city of Barcelona. I think that Espanyol, since they need to get to the scoreboard here, they need to fight to get points. I think they can get on the scoreboard. I know that Barcelona has outstanding defense this season. That defense has been mostly more solid at home than on the road. And for that reason, I do believe that Espanyol will get to the scoreboard. But I think that Barcelona will get a win here, guys. And for that reason, I'm going to go with Barcelona to win and both teams to score, which is plus 235. Minus 175 money line is not worth taking. Both teams to score at over 2.5 is a decent look, but I'm going to go for a full money here. And that is for Barcelona to win and both teams to score. Now we are moving on to Bundesliga, guys. And the first game we have is between Stuttgart and Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen played against Roma earlier this week in the Europa League, and that's a game they lost 1-0. And they also lost in their previous Bundesliga game, which was against Leipzig, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just pull it up real quick here. While Stuttgart is still fighting for their lives, Leverkusen lost to Köln, sorry. While Stuttgart, like I said, is still fighting for their lives, and after beating Borussia Mönchengladbach a couple of weeks ago in Bundesliga, they went on a 2-game losing streak. One game was in the DFB Pokal against Eintracht, and the second game was against Hertha Berlin in Bundesliga. Now, Stuttgart also hasn't won any of their last 4 games against Leverkusen. However, the books are considering them to be the favorites here at home, and that is mostly because they have a lot to fight for in this game, and their survival in Bundesliga is at stake because they are now in the relegation zone with 28 points in that 17th place. Now, with a win here, potentially Stuttgart will get above the relegation zone. They will get to that 15th place, which is definitely something they want this season. But I keep saying that Bayer Leverkusen has a lot of offense to show for, and they have been showing it in Bundesliga, but that offense has been a little bit weaker on the road than it has been at home. I still think that Bayer Leverkusen can get to the scoreboard because, let's be honest, Stuttgart is not the greatest defensive team in the league. And for that reason, guys, I'm going to go with both teams to score in over 2.5 goals. It's minus 107. I do like this pick a lot, and I actually think this might be one of the premium picks for the day for me. So, Stuttgart against Leverkusen, both teams to score, and over 2.5 goals. And the second matchup in Bundesliga is between Leipzig and Werder Bremen. And every time I do the video about Werder Bremen, I keep saying that they are probably the uh, most consistent team in the league when it comes to both teams to score in over 2.5. That has hit in the last probably 3, 6, 9, 10 or 11 games for Werder Bremen. And I think that's going to be the case here as well. Leipzig is coming off of a win against Freiburg in Bundesliga, and at the moment they are in the Champions League spot in fourth place. But with another win here, they will get one spot above that, and they will be a little bit safer. Now, like I said, Werder Bremen has been very, very consistent when it comes to scoring goals. They are healthy and they're playing well in the attacking end. They just can't keep the ball out of their net. So this is gonna be another game where I'm gonna take both teams to score and Leipzig to win. It's plus 165, another nice plus money winner for us guys, and should be a very, very fun game to watch. So Leipzig to win and both teams to score. For the next two games, guys, we have Serie A going on, and the first one is going to be between Bologna and Roma. Like I said, Roma was playing against Leverkusen in the Europa League semifinals. They did get a win in that one, but Bologna is a very, very tricky team, and the team that is kind of getting used to kind of beating the big ones. And whenever you think that they are going to lose, they are going to fall apart, they come together and muster a nice result, and I think this might be one of those games as well. Roma might be a little bit tired, and I know that Bologna hasn't won any of their last 5 games. However, they are playing at home here, and knowing Jose Mourinho, he will definitely be a little bit more tactical in this game than he usually would, because he's playing in the second leg of the Europa League semifinals next week. And for that reason, guys, I think that if anything is going to happen in this game, it's going to happen in the second half. And my pick for this one is going to be first half draw at minus 103. Usually we see the price for that around plus 110 or so, which means that there is some money coming into this pick, and I'm going to go with it as well. So Bologna against Roma, first half draw. For the second pick in Serie A, guys, we have Juventus hosting Cremonese. Now, Juventus is at the moment in the second place of the Serie A table, and they at the moment they are qualifying for the Champions League. However, their case is still in court about that financial discrepancies they have, and even though they were given those 15 points back, they still might be deducted some points, which means that they need to win every single game they play if they want to have enough points to stay in the Champions League spot if they're lucky. I don't know how many points they will lose, but I'm pretty sure they will lose some points. And now they're facing this Cremonese team, the team that's at the bottom of the table, actually just above the relegation zone, just above the bottom, sorry, with 24 points. And theoretically, they still have a decent chance of staying in the league, to be honest. They're only 6 points away from safety. And with a few positive results, and they have been playing some solid football as of late, they're actually undefeated in the last 4 games. I think that Cremonese will go for it here. They don't have a choice. So in this game, I'm going with both teams to score. It's plus 116. It's not often that we get such deep plus money on both teams to score, and I'll take advantage of it, guys. I'll give it a shot. I think that Cremonese is good right now. I think that they are definitely in a good enough form to get to the scoreboard against this sloppy Juventus team, especially on that defensive end. So, Juventus against Cremonese, both teams to score. Now we are moving on to League 1, guys, and we have an interesting matchup between Monaco and Lille. Monaco finally got a win last week, and it was a hard-fought win. I believe it ended in a 2-1 win for them. And I think that we had them to win and over 2.5 as a free pick, which was a hit. But now they're facing this very, very solid Lille team, the team that has lost only one of their last 4 games, the team that's still fighting for that Europa League spot. And they definitely are playing quite well right now. When playing at home, Monaco hasn't lost in their last 3 games against Lille. But we know that Monaco has been all over the place lately. They are conceding a ton of goals. Doesn't matter if they play against the top team or the bottom team, they will concede a goal. So I'm keeping this one simple, guys. I'm gonna go with both teams to score in over 2.5, -125. I would like for this to be a little bit more closer to the plus money, but -125 is not bad at all on both teams to score in over 2.5, and I will take it, guys. And the last pick of this video is gonna be in a game between Marseille and Angers. Now, Marseille lost that second place by losing to Lens last week 2-1 on the road, but they definitely need to bounce back here against Angers. Angers is at the bottom of the table, the worst team in the league. Only 14 points. They will be getting relegated, and they have only one win on the road, 2 draws, and 13 losses. When playing at home, Marseille hasn't lost to Angers in their last 6 games, and like I said, they will be looking to bounce back here after that loss to Les and put some pressure on Les as well. Maybe they drop points somewhere, and Marseille can once again take over that second spot and qualify straight for the Champions League. But even if they don't, I think that they had a great season, and they definitely would like to finish it on a high note. Angers also has a ton of injured players, guys. They don't have the depth right now. They don't have the offense. They don't have the defense. So I'm gonna go full on Marseille, and I'm gonna take Marseille -2. It's -120, which basically means that if Marseille wins by 2 goals, we are getting a push. If they win by 3 or more, we are getting the win. But I honestly think it could be a nice blowout win for Marseille here at home in front of their fans, who are one of the, we can call them the worst and the best fans at the same time, because the stuff they are doing, it's quite insane to watch. So I'm gonna take Marseille -2 at -120. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here once again. We have a big slate, so put some bets in, guys. Let's win some money on Sunday. And of course, if you want more free picks, go to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel and check it out, guys. That's it. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you soon with more free winners.